Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, and another Love is Blind story. That's right, the stories that just don't die down after the reunion on Sunday night, the failed reunion by Netflix. More Love is Blind. We know Marshall was on the Vile Files podcast, and now his ex-lover, Jackie, who has hard-launched with Josh and been dating for over a year now, issues another apology. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals right there. If you want to put some bread in the tip jar, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. We just got a Venmo from Denise to buy me a double shaken espresso. So thank you so much for that, Denise. I'm going to go run, not walk. I'm going to run to Starbucks after this. 5 videos we've made. So we got the hard launch yesterday. Jackie said a year of staying side by side with your other half. And then we also got Josh apologizing for how he came off on the show.
Hey, this is Josh. I just want to say that I'm very thankful for the opportunity that Netflix and Love is Blind gave me.
Very humble 7-minute conversation where he says thanks for the opportunity. He knows he could have been portrayed better. I've never claimed to be toxic or I've wanted to be known as toxic. And he says he's sorry for the people that he hurt in the process. So there he is, folks. And then people said, where's Jackie's accountability? Well, you asked for it. Here it is. Here's Jackie's most recent apology. And I say that because I believe she said a few different times here. This was before she didn't apologize. She clarified her edit, saying that her and Marshall were broken up before she met with Josh. Then we know that Marshall was on the Nick Vile podcast. We just covered that story where he confirmed Jackie's timeline, and here's what Jackie has to say. I would like to start this off by saying I sincerely apologize and take accountability for my actions and words in my relationship between Marshall and I. I also want to take the time to express my gratitude and appreciation for Marshall, clearing up that I did in fact end the relationship before meeting Josh at the coffee shop. I understand that it was a quick transition from one relationship to another, but this relationship did not start as most do in the real world. To some, it may seem as if it was a quick transition. However, there is only a small percent that can be shown on TV, and my connection with Josh was much deeper than it seemed from a viewer's perspective. I also would like to thank Marshall for taking accountability, the derogatory comment that was made off camera. I would also like to apologize and take accountability for my disparaging remarks as well in those leaked messages. It was tasteless and disrespectful to speak about anyone that way. It was never a battle between Marshall and I. I just wanted to clear the timeline of the events that took place, as it looked as if I was a cheater in starting one relationship before leaving the other. I am thankful that Vanessa Lachey allowed me to speak my piece and take accountability for my actions. All I can do is learn and grow from this experience. Like Marshall said at the reunion, we both deserve happiness, peace, and to be able to move on from what transpired last year. Marshall and I have personally apologized to each and also took accountability for our actions and have moved on. I would also like to apologize and take accountability to the public as it was done on the show for everyone to see. Actions speak louder than words. Jacquelina. In some of the comments, but you didn't come to the reunion because people have to remember, Jackie wanted to go to the reunion. As far as I know, she was uninvited because of quote-unquote death threats. And I'm not saying that because I don't believe they existed. I'm saying that because I personally feel like Netflix saw Jackie and Josh as a liability in that. Nothing about their relationship as a liability. I just personally believe that they were afraid that Jackie was going to call out Marshall and have a conversation that they were not prepared to have. And if you wonder why that would be the case, look what's going on with Bud Light and Nike and the whole like culture war around trans, the whole conversation that's out there. Netflix didn't want to deal with it from, at least in a way where it would be on live TV. That's why I believe they recorded this interview beforehand. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. Love is Blind's Marshall Glaze responds to claims he made derogatory comment about ex Jackie Bonds. This came out, I believe, yesterday. Is today the 17th or the 18th? So this came out yesterday. Fans of Love is Blind know that Jackie Bonds and Marshall had a messy split, but what didn't viewers see? And this is the problem with Love is Blind is that they don't film in a bubble, so there's a lot of times when they're not on camera, so it's kind of a he said, she said. After Jackie, 27, hinted in various interviews that her ex-fiance, also 27, made a derogatory remark about her before they ended things for good, he is sharing his side of the story. So specifically, Jackie claimed that he used the T word, the transphobic slur. He said he's denying that, but he did say her face looked like a man or something. I might be paraphrasing. Let's see. It happened off camera when we were filling out the marriage certificate, Jackie told Love is Blind co-star Vanessa during a pre-taped reunion segment. He had called me a derogatory name and we fought about it and he left for 3 days. I think what it was a bad joke. It was one of those where we were joking, but it just came off as bad. So context is key, and here Jackie does say, look, I don't think he maliciously intended to call me something or whatever. We were joking around and it came out wrong. Okay. During the live Love is Blind reunion, which was streamed after technical difficulties, Marshall admitted that he told his then partner, Jackie, you got a strong jawline. I mean, like you could have been a man for all I know. Per Variety, the Baltimore native denied using a derogatory term as that word is not in my vocabulary. All right, so whether he used the term or not, we won't have any definitive evidence. I side on just trusting and believing people. I believe that Jackie feels like she was wronged and she obviously has apologized and has accepted, I believe, Marshall's apology. So there they are, folks. Here's Marshall. We already played the clip. You can go check out the other video.
With Josh.
Yeah. I think looking back on it, I think she may have been recalling meeting him at the party.
So Nick gave Marshall the chance to slam Jackie, essentially call her a liar and tell her she's wrong and all these things, but Marshall didn't do that because he believes Jackie that the timeline in the edit was wrong. Now, some people have left comments saying, why can't she just get over it and move on with her life? And to that, I just respond, it's so easy to be an anonymous person and never having been mischaracterized to just say, oh, move on. But at this point, she's pretty much a villain from the season. Folks generally, as we know, psychologically speaking, don't change their opinion when they have when they're receiving news for the first time about something. And in this case, when they're watching the show and they see that Jackie, and again, this was the edit, this didn't actually happen, but they see that it looked like Jackie snuck off with Josh before breaking up with Marshall. That's what most people will end up believing because most people aren't doing the deep dive into what actually went down. That's something Jackie's going to have to correct people on for a long time. And look, you can criticize her and Marshall all you want, but it has to be fair. When it comes to like Netflix putting their foot down on the scale of justice here to lean it in one direction, it's like, look, it's not fair when they edit something to appear to be different than what actually would happen. Anyway, that's the update. That's what Jackie has to say. That'll probably be the last that they comment about this, although who knows, but let's just hope that we could learn something from this, which is even throughout toxic breakups or toxic fights, you can learn about yourself. You can become better and you can do better moving forward. And that's more important than anything. Let me know what you guys think. More content after this. We'll be this afternoon. We'll have it all summed up together and throw a pretty bow on it with the podcast, bachelorrushhour.com.